And Joe Graham will drop it. They run the slide for Boletta, who can only tip. Graham from the back. Too tight to the net. Wantagh with Rendy. To her right side, that's the good swing from Cullen. Rendy again organizes, tries Corey in the middle, the block by Boletta. Boletta try to finish and does.
Boletta, what a great reactive play on that. You think that she's not going to get another opportunity here, and she really can get off the ground in a hurry. You'll see here right down and then pops right back up again. She's got great height, great concentration.
Graham doesn't get a swing. Boletta, and Weir is able to do just enough. And making Floral Park earn it with a free ball. Alice Brandt, now Boletta on the right. And the block lands in. D'Antonio had a chance, so did McCartan.
Boletta does such a nice job, though, of just finishing. I mean, she hits that as hard as she possibly can. Wantagh's defense is there, but they just can't get it back over the net.
Rendy, as they run a combination, the swing from McCartan. Rendy, now to Cullen. And Floral Park's defense, that's been their calling card, showing up here in the last few points. And that's going to be an easy one for Grace Brandt.
Brandt does a nice job again of just sticking with the play, looking at her options, you know, and putting it in a spot where it can't be returned.
It started 7-0 as Cullen and Floral Park can get closer with a swing from Youngclaws. Rendy underneath it. Net violation against the setter, Kayla Rendy. Her momentum took her too close to the net. Timeout, Wantagh.
Wantagh's got to be scratching their heads a little bit, thinking, we thought we had this one in the bag. We were on a run and we were up by a lot, and now, once again, we're right back to only being up by 3.
7-0 to start. 10-1 at one point before Floral Park started to climb in. It's a 4-0 run now. They got to within 12-9 a little bit earlier. And Lori LaRusso keeping it loose as she explained her timeout strategy in their 25-6 third set loss to Southside. She will not use timeouts very often. This is a mature group that she allows to figure it out on their own unless she really, really, really has to use it.
Absolutely. I mean, as a coach, when you have an older team who know each other so well and have played together so long, you do have to let them try to work through some of the things. She's been around long enough to understand that too. She knows her players well.
For example, in the fourth set when they trailed 8-0, no timeout yet. She waited until 11-3 and it worked. As D'Antonio played it across. Youngclaws looks for the corner and Graham played it. It was very borderline.
I like the style of volleyball that Floral Park plays. It's not power. You know, they really do keep you off balance because you never know what they're going to do.
Good service leads to a free ball. And there is Alice Brandt dumping.
And again, that's just a smart play, Ralph. Everybody expects you to go, and they're going to take another time out here, but everybody expects you to take all 3 touches, and instead, recognizing that that's the spot that's open, you end the point right there.
The intelligence of Alice Brandt showing itself in Wantagh, who got off to a great start in the second set with their main hitters looking in rhythm, but there's just a special chemistry to this Floral Park team that last year lost to Lynbrook in the B semifinals, so they've moved up a classification from recent time. And as Lori LaRusso says, my team is very hard to rattle. They are tenacious.
Well, and you see what they're doing, though, in terms of making Wantagh off balance. That's 2 quick timeouts. They recognize the importance of this set. They don't want it to get away from them.
Grace Brandt will serve. And who from Wantagh will excel in serve-receive? Graham steps up. Rendy outside for Cullen. And Matthew slides over. Boletta, the block. Big block for Wantagh in a key sequence. The block from Courtney Cardona.
Boy, Cardona does a great job of getting up there. Boletta is all set up here to end this point. That was huge.
Cardona is a 5'8" senior middle blocker. Big improvement. She could be a starter, Dan O'Shea says, at most programs in Nassau. But Wantagh is another story. They had 17 players on the varsity all year. They have 20 right now. Young Claus down the line and gets a point back.
Floral Park's just not going away in this set. Now you have Boletta serving here. That's just a...
Boletta, and it tied up Graham a bit. Cullen. Brandt tries the corner. It lands in. Amazingly, Floral Park has tied the second set at 22.
I tell you what, Brandt plays this game so well from the neck up. She is so smart and just recognizes what is going on out there. They have Wantagh on their heels right now. I don't know if Wantagh has ever had to play from this kind of position before in this season.
Boletta, good line drive that Weir handles well. Abby Cullen. Floral Park takes the lead. Natalie Hickman.
Hickman reads this well. And it's one thing to get up there to make this contact with the ball. It's another thing to direct it to a spot where there's nobody standing and to literally end the point on that block.
And Boletta picks out the DS in the back row. Out comes McCartan. Rachel McCartan evens it up at 23.
That's a big hit by McCartan. She gets great height on this. It's a perfect set. She's just able to end it.
Abigail Cullen. Nice serve. Hickman. And the block. Carly Sullivan puts Wantagh back in front.
Hickman's in a great position here, but the block is even better.
Cullen will continue. Probably has the hardest serve of the team, says Dan O'Shea. What does she have in store for us now with set point for the Warriors? And she'll go soft. Rant, Hickman tipping. Wow.
Everybody gets into place to block the shot, and instead, Hickman's able to see what's going on and find the opening.
We will have extra points in the second set. Alice Brandt. And Weir couldn't handle it. Weir, the sensational starting libero, caught in between. This time, she passes. McCartan tip. Hickman had it. Wantagh will get a swing from Weir. Here's the chance for Floral Park. And Brandt not in position. Hagan sets it up for McCartan. Wantagh will try a third time. Hagan, McCartan. Hagan goes into the middle now for Sullivan. Hickman tipping. McCartan a third time.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that, does it, Ralph? That is just end to end to end. Everybody has opportunities to put it away. Wow. I mean...
Two gigantic kills from junior Rachel McCartan.
McCartan does a nice job, though, of keeping her poise. You would think, the first time or the second time when she doesn't get that point, that, maybe she would get frustrated, but she hung in there.
And her setter, Shannon Hagan, continued to feed her. And now, it'll be Olivia D'Antonio for Wantagh. Alice Brandt into Hickman, and Floral Park back in front.
Hickman doesn't go for the touch play on that one. She goes for the power shot and buries it.
Floral Park's Jenna Youngclaws. Hagan with Graham on the outside. Not a great swing. It went down. Floral Park for a moment started to celebrate, and Jillian Graham's ball again dipped at the end.
Graham comes close on that one. That just falls in. It's a clutch shot right there, huh?
Senior Christina Weir is going to attend Pittsburgh for nursing next year, hoping to extend her career today. Hickman tipping. Wantagh outside for Graham, tipping, Hickman, and the call is going to be a lift. Rather, two was signaled by Dottie Lynch. Double contact, it's very subtle. Point to Wantagh, and now they have set point in the second. Weir at Matthew. Grace Brandt getting the call. The chance for Wantagh. Hagan to Graham. Brandt, and didn't take off, but a free ball, and Floral Park back to Hickman, the block, and Wantagh finally wins it. Courtney Cardona.
That was a character-building set right there. Wantagh starts off with the big lead, loses the lead, has set point. Floral Park has set point. Wantagh finds a way to win.
28-26, an exhilarating second set. The Warriors, with their backs against the wall, faced set point. Cardona off the bench with the block. The Wantagh Warriors survived the second set from Floral Park, 28-26. A program that's won 14 county titles, a state championship in 2001. They're always here 7 times out of the last 8 seasons. And Jillian Graham had a very good second set, as most of the Warriors' offensive firepower did.
Jillian Graham carried that set for them. She was their go-to in the biggest moments and didn't let them down. This is a player that obviously, you know, understands at that big moment you cannot go 2 sets down in a county final and try to figure out a way at that point how to get back into this match.
Jillian Graham, you see the numbers, 9 kills. Rachel McCartan as well, 2 critical kills late in the second set. She has 7. But clearly Jillian Graham they challenged her in the sense that getting across her injuries, and this year sees the court so much better. Dan O'Shea remarks he coached her on the JV team previously and is going to make her college decision very soon. And meanwhile, for Lori LaRusso's bunch, it's as if they live in extra points and playing frenetic, very exciting volleyball.
Well, they sure do. And you know, we get back to this match and Hickman goes right to the official and asks about the call that you and I were just having to talk about off camera. And the official gave her an explanation. She said, "Thank you, I appreciate it."
Will that spark Wantagh here at 18-1? Abigail Cullen. Good pass to the front. Alice Brandt into Natalie Hickman. And this one sails wide without a touch.
Yeah, not really high enough there, and Hickman has to adjust her arm swing, and it just goes out of bounds.
Cullen looking to focus on academics for college and hoping to extend her career. 1-1, third set.
It's tough, I would imagine, to play a sport your whole life and then go to college and not play. I would not have survived in college.
Mm-hmm. It brings a certain structure.
Absolutely.
And a camaraderie that maybe you miss. There's an ace dropped in. Nobody communicated for Wantagh as Alice Brandt put it right in the center.
Alice Brandt's having herself a very good night tonight, very quietly, but she's always in the middle of everything.
She tries the same spot, and Weir goes down to get it. Swing from McCartan, and that is out. So at 2 apiece. Perhaps Richard Stockton College down in South Jersey could be the home for the Brants, but they're going to stay together, and you can see the connection they have. This one is a subtle touchdown for Hickman.
Hickman very calmly, doesn't try to power it, just sees that she's got the whole open court. I'm just going to end it.
Sullivan, and Carly Sullivan, we could hear it from here as she was asking for the ball.
She sure was. She wanted it, and it's all about the set. You know, here comes the perfect set. Look at that, right into her wheelhouse. She's able to just get everything behind it.
Shannon Hagan with the delivery, first-year starting center for Wantagh. Hickman tipping, and again she'll find a very good spot. Very heady players, as Lori LaRusso describes. Knows when to tip, swing, roll, but she focuses on basketball year-round except for the fall.
It's the best part about high school, isn't it? You can play more than one sport.
The Floral Park girls basketball team is this one sent wide by Wagner. They return off of a New York State Class A championship appearance. Won Nassau Class A behind the great Kayla Hilaire, who graduated with over 2,000 points. And Boletta and Hickman will be back to defend their Nassau and Long Island crowns this year. Hagan and Jillian Graham's first swing of the set. Again, Graham threw a double, and eventually able to push it through some traffic.
Graham's going to be their go-to for the rest of this match. She clearly is the one that can, again, get them to that level that they're used to. When it gets tight, they're always going to set her up.
Outside to Grace Brandt, and there's Weir. Grace Brandt fights it off, gets the return from her sister. Weir gives up the free ball. Hickman in the middle. Another tip. Well, she's 6'1", has power, but she can show touch too.
I like the way that she goes about her business. You know, she keeps the defense off guard. They don't know what to do. Is she going to hit it for power? Is she going to hit it for placement?
Hagan and Graham fading away, doesn't get her best swing. Boletta tips. Corey, and Corey puts it out of the reach of Grace Brandt.
It's a smart play at the net by Corey. You know, you wonder in all the confusion how much they can really know what's going on. It takes an extra second just to kind of look and see it and then make that snap decision.
Here's Kayla Rendy into serve and set from the back row. And Rendy. And the first ball hurt Wantagh there, so it's 7-6 Floral Park.
Jackie Tam's had a nice service night so far. Let's see if she can continue.
Cullen. Abigail Cullen might have been her best shot so far of the night.
Absolutely.
And Cullen able to hit from the line.
Split the defenders back there.
Graham, and she tied up Nicole Wagner. Surprised her a bit.
But Wagner didn't know whether to go and bump it and you get caught in that gray area moving backwards.
Grace Brandt will float it. Nice set by Rendy out to Cullen. Great thought there from their future setter, Kayla Rendy, to distribute.
Well, now you have both Cullen and Graham that are starting to catch a little bit of fire here, and that's the recipe for Wantagh this entire season.
This ball drops in. Excellent service. And Rendy pushes it out to McCartan. Randy tries to dump. Randy now for Corey, who tried to push it through the net. And then Cullen, the block on Grace Brandt.
Wantagh starting to own the battle at the net here.
Alice Brandt, this time with her back to the net, pulls off a very soft floating dump.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected that one to go over the net just at that point, just because of the position of her body.
Down the line, that ball lands for Grace Brandt for a Floral Park ace. Rendy tries Cullen in the middle. And Floral Park can't get to the second ball. Abigail Cullen, her latest thundering kill.
You know, Graham was the last set getting it done for the team. In this set, they've turned to Cullen a little bit more as she's starting to feel it.
Back set out to Boletta. And Floral Park can't get a second swing. Rendy for Cullen down the middle. And the good up by Grace Brandt. Grace Brandt tipping. And a collision of a pair of Wantagh players. Cullen setting, McCartan. Not bad, that's Abigail Cullen, the right side, known for her power, was unselfish.
Absolutely, and when they've set up McCartan this evening, she has really delivered for them and bit of force that I don't think Floral Park concentrates so hard on Graham and Cullen. And more than that though, Wantagh is very, very deep.
Again, Alice Brandt looking for the dump, and she's going to pick up a call on a lift. It has been very successful here, pulling that play off at the right times. So Faith Boletta. And Boletta in the back row with a good ball. As Young Claus swung, there's McCartan. Boletta swings from the back. And that may not be her specialty.
She tries to get a lot of power behind that, but just doesn't hit it. I see her walk over to the sideline. I see her practicing that swing to try to get it down. She didn't hit it cleanly and caught it at the wrong spot, and that's why it floated out of bounds.
Hickman back in the front row. As they tip over her with Shannon Hagan. Hagan, good idea to set it across. Floral Park the dig. Young Claus drops it in.
Young Claus does a nice job here. As she's fading, she still finds the right spot. It amazes me how the body control, when everything's going on, you're up in the air.
Nice service that Weir was able to get. Setting the middle for Hickman. And Graham over the block. And Floral Park with Hickman will force it across. Now McCartan. We had a whistle before that, net violation on Floral Park.
Wantagh was lucky on that because that ball went flying out of bounds.
Wantagh trying to pull away in this third set. We go back to Olivia D'Antonio. And Young Claus, cross court. Graham, and the ball up by Young Claus. Then the return to her. So Floral Park with very good balance, as Laura LaRusso, her coach, describes. She's very hard to read when she's swinging. It's a little bit unorthodox and causes blockers' timing to be off.
It's interesting how the nuances of this game can equate, you know, to strategy. I find it unbelievable, you know.
Graham down the line.
Graham's just so impressive. And you know, Ralph, that volleyball is a sport that we only do in the fall, obviously, and it's not. I am just so impressed by these young ladies. And first of all, the pounding that they take, their bodies are flying all over the place, but the accuracy of what they do while they have no control is unbelievable.
Grace Brandt with accuracy around the block. It's been Wantagh with a steady lead in this third set. Matthew. As Hagan out to Graham, this time the block. Floral Park with a double with Kira McNamara on it. And they can't get that second ball.
Wantagh's just imposing their will. And when you have a team that knows how to win in all kinds of ways, this is what happens in a game.
Laura LaRusso looking on. A proud Mineola High School graduate that just watched her alma mater come so close to winning their first county championship in the match before this one. Grace Brandt with the swing. Rendy back in the front row. Boletta and Rendy. Faith Boletta with the kill.
Boletta does a nice job here of just taking this setup, and you know, we saw her practicing her swing on the sideline. She just doesn't miss on this one.
Jackie Tam. Cullen, and not the best swing. Cullen will track it down, and she redirected it. As Boletta went for the block, the ball kind of surprised her.
Yeah, Boletta was ready for it, but it kind of caught her, again, not in a high space, so she had to bring her hands down to try to get it, and at that point, you get worried that you're going to get called for a lift.
Grace Brandt and Rendy. Weir serves across the free ball. Boletta on the right. Good swing out of her.
That's going to be the most unbelievable feeling when you spike the ball and for the point and everything goes right and you can hear it. Boy, and you watch the emotion on these young ladies and it gets you pumped up.
Cullen. Net violation against Abigail Cullen on the swing. So Floral Park inches closer.
Refusing to go away for sure.
Great low serve by Grace Brandt causes some chaos. And Alice Brandt out to Youngclaws, but that hit the antenna first. So Wantagh survives that.
Wantagh is definitely in survival mode this whole night.
Corey across. And Floral Park will not get a swing out of this.
Watching this match tonight reminds me of the match that we just did. You know, and again, you have those championship teams and they just know how to hang in there and not get flustered and figure out ways to, continue to fight through whatever it is that's going on in the match.
Quick dump attempted by Alice Brandt, and Wantagh was on it. And Abigail Cullen smashes it down the line. So Wantagh pulls away in this third set, prompting a Floral Park timeout.
See the back set there, and Abigail Cullen just gets all of it. Perfect shot, perfect placement. You know, Wantagh is a very confident team. You can see that. You can see how they were during the warm-ups, that they're confident, and with great reason. Floral Park is doing everything that they can to try to steal this set and go up 2-1, but Wantagh is starting to impose their will.
And how can they not look at all of the people they have? 20 on their varsity roster that has won a state title, as I said earlier, 8-time county finalists, 14 county championships. The Long Island championships, 4 of them, with the New York State championship in 2001. So they've consistently been there and battled the great teams in Suffolk County and beyond. As we asked Dan O'Shea, he carried 17 players on the varsity full-time, added 3 more, saying that his practices are just incredibly, insanely competitive in terms of reps. The second team being very close to the par of the first team, and how much they get out of that.
Well, that's how you build tradition. You know, when you make practice so intense that everybody can only get better, you're just showing the girls exactly where your program is headed, where it is, and where you want it to keep going. It's just a credit to the entire Wantagh volleyball organization.
Boletta will pick up net violation. She ran right into it on the tip, and it's a 5-point spread for the Warriors. They've steadily just inched away in the third set.
They have. Just keeping the course, you know.
Young Claus, oh, it's still able to punch it. How about that? Well off the net and from a difficult angle.
It's interesting, when they've gone to Young Claus tonight, she has come through each and every time, and they go to her at pretty crucial moments of the match.
Great look by our camera there. What a fascinating angle that Jenny Youngclaws was able to put it down with. Alice Brandt, and the second ball in the lap of Graham. Alice Brandt will get on it. Youngclaws. Cullen. This has been the top set for Abigail Cullen.
It has, absolutely. Abigail Cullen's had the hot hand, and they just keep going to her, and she just keeps delivering. And you'll see here, going down the line.
Grace Brandt with a swing. Wantagh out to McCartan. In the lap of a Floral Park player, but they can't get a swing. Hagan pushes it out, McCartan. The block was covered by Weir. As Cullen stepping forward for Wantagh. McCartan. A ricochet, played across by Jackie Tam. We continue. Jenny Youngclaws off of a pair of Wantagh hands. McCartan just trying to wallop it on the outside. Hagan organizes McCartan, I think, a 4th swing during the point, and it did not go over. 4 contacts, Floral Park outlasts Wantagh.
Floral Park finding a way how to stay in that point, whether on purpose or accident. That was a great flurry of volleyball right there.
Someone get Rachel McCartan a drink. She must be exhausted. Sullivan wanted it, and Matthew. McCartan. Not enough on the liftoff. She might have needed a drink of water.
She just might have. I just keep going back to you talking about how Floral Park just never gives up. They just never concede.
Just saw the libero as an ace for Floral Park, Cheryl Matthew, that Lori LaRusso says is the heart of our team. Nothing ever touches the ground. They've even made the point, as the libero there in the pink jersey, that the Floral Park varsity boys volleyball team has said she could play the back row for our team because she can handle fastballs coming at you.
It's a credit to her and what she brings to this team, and you don't get to the championships by accident. And I know, again, no disrespect to Southside, but when you get into the 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds of any sport, it's anybody's match.
Cheryl Matthew plays her club volleyball for the Cali program based in Hofstra under Hofstra women's volleyball head coach Emily Manser, and all of her players and recent alumni that have grown that program a lot on the Long Island, in the Long Island volleyball community over the last 5 years. 22-20 Wantagh in the third set, even at a set apiece. As you watch tonight from the Clark Center on the beautiful campus of SUNY Old Westbury. This gym is always loud. Even if there's 20 people in here, it's loud. And tonight we've got a good crowd and great action. Floral Park seeking the program's second ever county title. Wantagh looking for their 15th. McCartan. And Floral Park gets another chance. Young Claus couldn't put it down. Hagan all the way across looking for Sullivan. Net violation on Floral Park. Big point there as the Knights were going to have a chance at a swing.
Yeah, that's a big stop right there because of the score of the game as well. You know, it takes them to now 2 points from winning the match.
Olivia D'Antonio. And she just had her best serve. That ball was struck well, and Jenna Youngclaws couldn't get it. Set point in the third for Wantagh. Timeout, Floral Park.
Olivia D'Antonio has served very, very well this evening. She's the one, actually, you know, if you had this part of the game and you could pick and choose who you'd want, I'm sure they're very happy at this stage of the game to see D'Antonio back there with the ball.
And it's very even between her and Christina Weir's two outstanding liberos. And Dan O'Shea says Olivia is the one that had a big strength of hers. She calls out the ball and communicates extremely well. 24-20, Wantagh still with set point after they won the second set, 28-26. Floral Park steamrolled Wantagh 25-13 in the opener. So D'Antonio gets ready for another crucial serve. Also plays under the Cali Volleyball Club. Waits from the OK from up official Dottie Lynch. Matthew, perfect pass. Dump attempted by Brandt, out to Graham. No touch, and we continue in the third.
That was a nice setup there. Graham just a little too overzealous on that and hits it out of bounds.
So it'll be defensive specialist Nicole Wagner. Plays for the Performance Volleyball Club. Gets the serve in. Graham, Matthew again. And Floral Park can't get the swing. Graham this time drops it, and Matthew is of course on it. The swing for Hickman. Graham fading away, and she'll drop it in and take the third set for Wantagh. The Warriors just kept Floral Park at arm's length through the whole set. And they take it 25-21. More thrilling action from the Nassau Class A Volleyball Final is next on Verizon Fios One Sports. Wantagh's the #1 seed. They're looking to get back to the Long Island Class A Final, where they lost last year in a sweep at the hands of Kings Park. But they have had their hands full tonight with Floral Park, a 3 seed that knocked off Southside in a 5-set amazing match in the semis. And Wantagh's shown us something tonight, Tracy. This is a team with 8 seniors that is predominantly volleyball only, that play a lot of club volleyball through all the different programs. So I don't think this necessarily surprised them, but they have found ways with all of their talent.
Well, it's interesting. We talk about Floral Park a lot this evening, and because nobody expected them to be here and how well they're playing. But the truth is that Wantagh is the top seed for a reason. This is a veteran team. It's a confident team. It's a excellent volleyball team. They want to get on the bus and get upstate. You know, this is a team that has aspirations over and above just being a county champion. And I like the way they're going about it. Even when you don't always have your A game, or when another team that you're playing is playing the best that they have ever played, how you still figure out a way to win.
Dan O'Shea says it's our mindset. Discipline and composure. When they're right in their mind, there's no stopping them. But when they fall back on a couple of players like Graham or Cullen and start to force it a little bit and just don't use their team, that's when they can find themselves running into some trouble.
Well, I do think, although that they've used both Cullen and Graham, I think they've used them smartly this evening. And I think that they're not relying on one the whole time. You know, Cullen was second and third set. She came on like halfway through the second set. Graham carried them the whole beginning of that second set. And then it was Cullen time. And now if they can find a balance between the two of them in this set, they could end this match.
Meanwhile, Lori LaRusso looking on for her Floral Park team that has battled this Wantagh bunch very well. They were swept in the second match of the season at Wantagh, lost in 4 on their home floor against the Warriors on September 30th.